Now you have collected data for your project. The teacher has presented the topics. The teacher has helped the students select the topic. After that, a systematic planning was done to collect the data. Then data of collection has been done. The teacher clarified the doubts of the students. The teacher helped in collecting data. And now the student has to write the report. How can you write a project report? Now we are going to learn different steps in report writing. The first step is writing the title page. Here I have given an example. If you are making a project, a study on the aptitude level of teachers in India, a comprehensive study. And if it is a part of your internal assessment by Department of Education, KSI Training College, you can just give a description there. The aptitude level of teachers in India, a comprehensive study, it is the title. Then a study report submitted to the Department of Education of KSI Training College as a part of the internal assessment for the B.Ed degree semester second of 2015-17 batch. For you, for the B.Ed degree semester first of 2020-22 batch. So first you have to give the title of the study. After that, just give a description for what you have done this study. Then only a person can just realize an outline of or an idea on the report or the study. Then just write your name, submitted by Niaz PP, Arabic option, roll number 3. Guide, then just write the name of the guide. Here, guide Mr. Hatib KK, Assistant Professor KSTC. Then just write the address of the department, Department of Education, KSI Training College, Kaidimbam PO, Talipramba, 670142, Kannur, February 2016. This is the title page. In the title page, you have to give the title of your study, then a short description of your study, then the name of the person who has submitted the study, then name of the guide. Then if you are submitting the item to a particular teacher, then you can just write submitted to. So the title page, writing the title page is the first step. And what is the second step? Second step is certificate. There may not be the certificate in all the types of research. Sometimes it may be seen there. So here this is to certify that the study reports entitled The Aptitude Level of Teachers in India Comprehensive Study is a record of genuine study conducted by Mr. Niaz PP as a part of the internal assessment for the second semester of 2015-17 batch of the B.Ed degree offered by Kannur University under my guidance and supervision. The guide gives the certificate and the guide should sign there, then place a date. So the second page will be for certificate, showing that the particular work is done by a particular person under the guidance of a particular teacher or professor. So second page is for certificate. Then Third step is acknowledgement. See, you might have got support of different people for completing the project. Then you should mention their names. You should express your gratitude, your thanks to such people. And it is the acknowledgement page. Acknowledgement page is the page where the investigator or where the person who has completed the project shows his gratitude to some people who have supported, who have offered some assistance in completing the particular study. So here I hereby express my sincere gratitude to all who provided me timely assistance, support, guidelines and suggestions during my effort to complete this report, especially to my friend Mr. John, Michael, and all other colleagues at KSI Training College. So you can mention the names of your friends, your peers, your classmates, or some other people who have offered you some assistance in completing the particular study or project. Then the fourth stage is content page, and this is something inevitable or something unavoidable. You cannot ignore this one, because when a person starts reading your report, he should be able to see in which page a particular item is written. For example, some people may be going through your work just for looking at the review of related literature which you have included. Then if he comes to the content page, he can just realize that review of related literature is written in 12th page. He can directly go to the 12th page. Otherwise, he may have to turn over all the pages. So content page is important. You should give a content page where you should mention the items and the page numbers. Then comes list of tables. There may be different tables in different chapters or different sections. Then you should mention all the tables at the beginning. And as I told earlier, some people may be going through your report just for looking at the tables you have given there, just for getting some models for table creation in their study report. So we should make comfortability for the readers to go through our research report, because a research report or a project report will be having 50 or 100 pages. So sometimes people will not be ready to go through the report if there is no content page or if there is no list of tables. The list of appendices. For example, if you have used a questionnaire for collecting data, you will attach the questionnaire at the end of the report. But you should mention it at the beginning. Give the list of appendices. Standardized questionnaire, sample response from one respondent, then the scanned copy of the newspaper report. So you have to give the list of appendices, list of tools which you have used for collecting data, list of books you have written, or the first page of the book you have written. If you have given the first page of the books you have written as an appendix at the end, then you have to mention it at the beginning. in the list of appendices page. Then comes introduction. As I wrote there, as I have written there, there is no lower limit or upper limit for introduction. But you would better write a precise but comprehensive introduction, including necessary information related to your topic. Most of the people are writing introductions by just copying from online. It is not right. You can get some ideas from online or some other resources or some other sources, but you should write your own information. You should give a comprehensive explanation of the topic you have selected. For example, if you have selected a topic, significance of language across curriculum in the light of globalization, then you should first tell about language, then you should tell about language teaching process, then you should tell about historical events, historically significant events in the case of language teaching. Then you should tell about the faults of existing language teaching strategies. Then you should tell about globalization. What is globalization and what are different features of globalization? Then you should tell about language across curriculum. So this should be the nature of introduction. You should give a comprehensive idea of the topic you have selected. Then comes need and significance of the study. Actually, you are going to conduct a study just because you have to conduct a study. Actually, we are doing so. Nowadays, all the people are making some studies or conducting some studies just because they are compelled to do so, because they have to complete a project for passing the BA degree examination or BA degree examination. But you should be able to prove that there is some need and significance of the study. So you have to look at the present circumstances, and you should be able to argue that in the present circumstances or the present strategies have got some limitations. So we should make a study. For example, if you feel that the present language teaching strategies have got some deficiencies, and you feel that there is a new language teaching strategy called language across curriculum, and you feel that this new strategy will be useful. That is an assumption, that is your hypothesis, okay, but you have to test. So you feel that the present strategies for teaching languages are insufficient. So the present society is in need of a new strategy. So this study is important. So you should be able to mention the need and significance of the study, and for that you can make use this section of your report. Then objectives of the study. You should be able to clearly present the objectives of the study. Without objectives, you cannot conduct a study in a systematic manner. You are going to find out something. You are going to find out the effectiveness of a new strategy. So for conducting any sort of research or for conducting any sort of project, you should mention the objectives of the study. Then comes a review of related literature. So here you will be going to present a list of similar studies. Maybe in your country or out of the country. So you should look at different studies. For example, if you are not able to find out some studies related to language across curriculum, you can go to some other studies related to language teaching. So you have to present some studies which have already been conducted by others. And you have to tell that there are some limitations, there are some deficiencies, or these studies were not able to find out some solutions for the present situation. So you are going to conduct a new study. You can mention so. Then comes methodology. In the methodology page, you will explain or you will explain what method you have used for collecting data. For example, if you are reviewing a textbook for 9th standard students, you have to go through that textbook. Then you are making use of the method called document analysis. If you have to go to the people directly and collect data, then you are making use of survey method for collecting data. And when you make use of survey method for collecting data, you can use different tools like questionnaire tool, or you can use interview. So you will be explaining the method you used for collecting data, the tools, the techniques, and some other things used for collecting data. All these will be explained in the methodology page. For example, I use survey method for collecting data for my study. I have selected 100 people as the sample. Then I prepared a questionnaire and I distributed this questionnaire to these 100 people and so on and so. So this is methodology page. Then comes the most important part of your report. Analysis and interpretation of data. You're analyzing the data collected and you're making your own interpretations on the basis of the statistics, on the basis of the data collected, on the basis of different criteria. For example, if there is a question in your questionnaire, just like this, does your husband like the food you prepare? And from among 100 women, 60 women tell that their husbands do so. Then you will write this one in your analysis and you will tell 60% of women tell that their husbands are interested in the food they prepare. Then you would make an interpretation. Most of the men prefer homely food above food outside. This interpretation you create, you make. So this is what is done in the analysis and interpretation page. First you will analyze the data, then you will interpret by using your logic, by using some systematic process. Then comes major findings and recommendations. And after this one, after analyzing and interpreting, then you will list your major findings. For example, you will just list the first point. Most of the men are interested in homely food. So you will list out one by one the findings. And if you have found out that most of the men are interested outside food, and if you have found out that most of the men are suffering with stomachache, then your recommendation will be men should prefer homely food over outside food. This would be your recommendation on the basis of your findings in your study, and this should be written in the major findings and recommendation section. And now comes suggestions for further study. You will show humility, and you will tell that my study has got some limitations. I was not able to concentrate on such areas or these areas. So the future researchers or the people who are conducting research in future should be careful on these areas and these areas. And this is suggestions for further study. Then finally, you should conclusion. And here you will give a summary of your study in a precise and comprehensive manner. If a person reads your conclusion, sometimes he will be able to get an overall idea of your study. And that is conclusion. Then comes bibliography. And this one you cannot avoid. You must have got some information from some sources. You must have read some books. You must have watched some videos online. You must have gone through some websites. All these should be mentioned at the end. Bibliography or citation, we call it. Nowadays, it is something important because if you are not mentioning all these things there, sometimes you will be accused of stealing or you will be accused of plagiarism. But even if there is no plagiarism laws and regulations, it is among the ethics. We should keep the ethics. We should mention the names of the books and the writers from whom or from which we have got some information. And that is for the bibliography page. Then appendices. And in this page, you can attach the items you have used for collecting data and such things. For example, a sample questionnaire, the questionnaire, an unfilled questionnaire, then a sample questionnaire filled by one of the respondents, and such things can be attached here. So thank you. This is how you have to write a report.